Hello and welcome along to a massive episode of this FM20 story, The Head Coach with me, Daniel. It's season 13, episode 0. Yes, it's one of those specials again. And as expected, we've got a job offer. So we talked towards the end of last season, for those of you that weren't here, about potentially going to a super club. We'd done all we could with Gladbach. We got them up to second in the league and knew that to win a title, we'd have to have 3 teams have a bad year. 2 of them did this season, but it didn't look like it was going to happen again. We've won a German Cup, we got to the last 16 of the Champions League, and we got to a German Super Cup penalty shootout, but it wasn't quite enough. So we have gone for a job at some super clubs, and we have got one. And as the title suggests, we are heading back to our native England. So we talked before the season ending about a Chelsea job potentially becoming available, and potentially being a dream job depending on the final of their Europa League campaign. However, there were 2 or 3 other jobs that came up as well, a couple in Spain and a couple in England. But we have had a job offer from England. It is life-changing amounts of money, a life-changing opportunity, and the biggest moment in this career. The chance to achieve all the things we want to, European success, domestic titles, all could happen here. And let's go and see who that job offer's from. If you are looking forward to it, a return to England and our next adventure in this series, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It does make such a difference, particularly for episodes like this. And of course, whichever club we join today, we'll be going through the transfer window and we will be back for the Director of Football Roundup and our big transfer special and first game of the season next time out. So it is going to be a massive week on the channel. If you want to make sure you stay up to date with that, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily content releases on the channel from both this one, the Dorking Wanderer save as well, where we've just started a massive season in that series. And of course, as we go live for our stream series, which happened earlier today at 10 AM. Thank you to everyone who came along for that. We'll be live at the same time next week, so please do pop along if you're able to. But this is going to be a massive moment for us. So let's not hold it up any longer. Let's see who the job offer's from. Any guesses down in the comments? No need to cheat. Let's go and find out. I'll show you which jobs are available. It will make it very clear, but hopefully you'll see why we've chosen what we have. And the reason I wanted to show you from this screen is because not only have we applied for a big job, we were also the favourite for a big job. And it is the one we were discussing. We are going to Chelsea. They're offering us £155,000 a week. To put that into perspective, we are earning £56,000 a week, which as it stands is the biggest of our career. We've got 4-star reputation now. We've got the Continental Pro licence. We've got pretty much everything going for us. We've got international experience, Premier League experience with Burnley. We've played at the top level in the Champions League with Gladbach. We've won a domestic trophy there. We've won titles in the lower leagues in England. But this is the opportunity that could not go. Not much of a transfer budget, a massive wage bill, but we'll come to all that later. We have got an offer to join Chelsea. They're in the Europa League, so not the Europa League 2 as we suspected. But just to show you why they're in that competition, you can see their final last year. As we were hoping for, they lost to AC Milan, which meant the managerial job came up. Ironically, Declan Rice scored the goal against them. To wrap it up, at 32 years of age, the England legend. But we're now moving to Chelsea. We're expected to get into the Europa League from the Premier League. I'd imagine that will increase as we go on. The Carabao Cup's not important. A semi-final of the FA Cup and a Europa League final. This is going to be a big opportunity and one that we cannot mess up. So let's start the negotiations. We'll try and ease it up to 160. It's a 3-year deal. So, I mean, we're going to be set for life after this. We'll try and get the FA Cup bonus up. Don't know if it'll work at all. Probably not. I want to be careful here. We have, let's just put that up instead then. 155 grand a week, a £450,000 bonus if we win the FA Cup, and we are now the manager of Chelsea on a 3-year deal. So let's skip ahead. We'll be joining in a moment, and we can go and meet our new squad, our new staff, and our new club. Here we are then. The cameras are flashing. We are the Chelsea manager, a European super club. One of the traditional top 6 in England and still one of the top 6. A very good side, obviously. Europa League finalists. Get into the cup finals as well. They're a good side. However, look what they've paid for us. $16.5 million in compensation. How are we worth that much? We've lifted the German Cup, so we have got big game experience, but nothing quite on this scale. The squad's expected to finish 5th. Petr Cech is still the director of football, or the technical director, sorry. And he's a very good one at that. Might promote him to director of football if the board have anything to do with it. There's a new chairman, and there's an assistant manager, Sidney Lobo. He's quite good. He's 61, a Brazilian. They're all far-fetched all over the world. No problem with that. We've got exceptional youth recruitment, superb training and youth facilities. And we finished 5th in the Premier League. We've got Stamford Bridge, which has been slightly expanded. Now 48,000 it holds. And this is a club we should really be achieving everything at. So let's look at their 11. There's a few players we recognise there. Vinagre and Hakimi, the fullbacks. Fathi over on the left wing. Angerin in the middle. Jude Bellingham still there. And Gross up front is a story we've got to talk about as well. But we'll meet all of the team in a minute. We already know what all of our achievements and club culture items are, what the vision is and what we've got to do. By the end of this spell, we need to win the Premier League title. And if we can win a Champions League, it might be the final move of our career, subject to what else becomes available. But let's get through to it. We don't need to know all of this. We want to meet our squad and our staff. That is what we always do when we join a club. And there is so much excitement about. We've got most of the transfer window left. I don't think much has been done yet by the looks of it. So hopefully we can stamp our mark on this side. We're not in charge of transfers, contracts or staffing, don't forget. We are a head coach only. So our director of football, technical director, whoever it is, will organise that. And we work with what we're given. That's the beauty of this save. So let's look at the season expectations as we are hired as Chelsea manager. 1 cup win in Germany, 2 league wins with Salford and Burnley in the English lower leagues. This is a huge step up, a monumental change. Let's go and accept that vision. That's absolutely fine. The tactics we'll do in a minute. All of that advice we'll do in a minute. There are more important things here, as Marcus Rashford's there as well. There are a few players we know, and Arta. So a lot of experience in this side, and physically a little bit difficult. So maybe this summer will be busier than we expect. Let's start, as we normally do, by having a look at the staffing. That is the most important bit in this save, because the director of football and the staff on that sense are in charge of everything. I've just seen former Luton star Kevin Foley is the under-18s assistant manager. Nice to have a familiar name there immediately. Let's look at the head of youth development, Neil Bath. Wow! I don't think I've ever seen an on-playing staff member with attributes that good. I mean, just look at him. Every coaching attribute is a 16 or above. Every knowledge attribute is 17 or above. And he's got 18 adaptability, 20 determination, 17 man management. That's the most incredible staff member I've ever seen. We've looked at Petr Cech, who's the technical director. Doesn't look like there's a director of football at present. So that's something that's going to have to be worked on. We've got a chief scout in Scott McLachlan. He's very good at his job, and there's plenty of other scouts about as well. Andy De Smet is the most highly paid one, but perhaps not the best. Oh no, in fact it's Martin Hunter. He is very good at his job at 71 years of age. There are lots of good coaches here, there are lots of good scouts, and lots of people we're looking forward to working with. So let's just crack on, shall we? We need to meet people. I'm just seeing if there's any more coaches I recognise. Eddie Newton's still there. He's a figure associated with Chelsea in real life. Hilario, still the goalkeeping coach, not a very good one. And we've obviously met our assistant manager, Sidney Lobo, the Brazilian. He's very good at his job too. So a good staffing build, but certainly a bit of work to be done. And we'll set Petr Cech to do all that off camera. Anyone who's seen us join a new club before, you know the responsibilities we go through. So I'm not going to bore you with that again, because I'm sure you all, like me, want to meet the squad. So let's see the finances quickly. Looking very good. Let's go to the development centre, because we always want to see if there's an under 23 or 18 player that's worth promoting. So let's get the reports in and see how they're rated. Are there any superstars for the future? So there's a player out on loan who's got 2.5 star ability. And there's a player here with 4.5 potential, but he's injured at the moment. At 18 years of age, how long's he injured for? Just a couple of weeks. So no real standouts there. What about the 18s? Is that any better? No, there's not real much talent there at all. For a really good youth academy, that's not great. So let's skip straight to the senior squad. Paul Clement's back as under 18s manager. How about that? Into the seniors we go. This is the team you want to meet. And look at some of these star ratings. This is a proper football team. More worryingly though, perhaps, let's look at some of the ages. 32 for Hakimi, 32 Vinagre, 33 Rashford, 34 Arta, 32 Ortega, 33 Godfrey, 35 Christensen, 32 Wage, 34 Tielemans. Oh dear, oh dear. We'll come back to that. Let's firstly put them in position order. We're going to have a look at the stars. I just want to see if anyone's out of contract this year, so I can ignore them. Just Tielemans. So we'll ignore him, and we'll look at the rest of the squad. We'll put them in report order again, and we'll go through each position and see where we need to improve. So my immediate thought at the top of this list is defensively we are very weak, and that includes the goalkeeper region. So first choice, Humberto Perez, 26-year-old. He's all right. I mean, he's not great. Probably on a par with like Umbahan and Maximiano at Gladbach, but we really need a bit better than that. Good personality though, and I'm sure he'll do a job for us. We've then got Kedziora, who's 25 years of age. Composure bothers me. I really don't like that. He's a backup goalkeeper, but won't play much for us. And then Steve Hayes, the third choice one. He's not bad. Is he homegrown at Chelsea? He is. So I'd rather keep him. It looks like both of the other two are wanted, so hopefully one of them gets sold and then we get a star in. But obviously, as we've mentioned, we're not in charge of that. At right back, the much talked about man in real life, Hakimi, linked with Inter Milan. He's already been at Real Madrid and Dortmund in his career. He's very good and physically he's still strong. But he's going to be on a decline, isn't he? So maybe for one more year, but possibly not a long-term solution. And then the backup is Moussa Wagué. Not convinced by him. Is this the one who was at Leicester? It's not. It's a different one. He's at Barcelona. Played 100 times for them. 59 for PSG. Now he's a squad player for us on 220 grand a week. That is absolutely insane. 1 year left on his contract. And even if we wanted him to go, even if he gets interest, which he has there. Sheffield United aren't paying 220 grand a week, are they? Centre-halves, Christensen at 35 is very much on his way out now. Again, the wages here are absolutely shocking. We've got at the other end of the scale, 21-year-old Luke Henderson. 2.5 ability, 3.5 potential. Very good physically and mentally. Technically, average at this level. Versatile though, so that's a potential good sign. And then the star centre-half is Abdullah Al-Jahani. He is 4-star ability, 4-star potential, 27 years of age, and absolutely world class. A ball-playing defender, comfortable on the ball, great in a tackle, mentally and physically exceptional. A world-class Iranian centre-half. Very much going to be part of our plans next year, and still got 4 years left on his deal. 2 left-backs in the squad, both of them aging again. Vinagre at 32. He's been their first choice. He's a versatile left-sided player. Again, the wage is so astronomical. But he's a good fullback, so if we get stuck with him, it's not a disaster. But I can see why these aren't a top 4 side. Ortega's the other one, also 32. Perhaps not quite as good. Again, on over 200 grand a week. And 1 year left on his deal. So there are a lot of these players that are wanted. And that makes me think that Petr Cech's trying to do a bit of an overhaul. It's certainly needed, and you can see why with the way the club are going. But for me, it's going to make for an interesting summer, that's for sure. In holding midfield, Ben Godfrey is next. He can play centre-half as well at Norwich in real life. On the way down again. 2.5 ability. He's already on the transfer list and he's wanted by Juventus. So an elite midfielder, but probably past his prime. And then we've got Abdullah, another defensive midfielder. 3-star ability, 3.5 potential. Mentally an absolute god. A very good central defender as well, actually. A model professional, elite midfielder. Mentally, almost every stat is 16 plus. Physically, he's very good. He's got all the key technical attributes. From Mozambique. I mean, there's some weird nations popping up here with world-class players. But I might have him as my second centre-half. That's the way I'm looking at it so far, because I don't normally play with a holding midfielder. Maybe the Mascherano mould? He's a little bit taller than him, obviously. But he could certainly drop in if need be. I did just notice him and a few others say they're unhappy due to the lack of Champions League football. That's something that may influence this summer as well. Let's look at a couple of right wingers that are here. Emiliano Serrano, 3.5 star ability, 3.5 potential, 26-year-old Argentinian international. Physically, a monster. Absolutely incredible. Natural fitness 20. His technique's very good. Mentally, he's okay. I mean, there's so many top class players here. This is on a different scale to what we've had before. And then he's apparently our second best right winger. Because the best rated one is Alfredo Mendes, 4-star ability and potential, a 24-year-old Portuguese winger. I don't know that he's better. I really don't. I mean, he's a very, very good player, an elite level winger. Great in a dribble, great physically, and a bit stronger mentally perhaps. But I don't know that he's got that star quality. I mean, at 24, the fact he hasn't played for Portugal would suggest that. but I'm interested to see. Again, wants to move to a bigger club perhaps, so we could lose a few of these due to the underachievement last season. We're going to ignore Tielemans because he's going to be going soon, but we all know about him. Arter at 34 is a 3-star ability world-class midfielder. Again, technically and mentally, one of the best in the world. Physically, well past his best. And that's a worry for next season. They've only just signed him and paid $3 million in January. It's a bit of a bizarre signing that, but we'll see if he goes. If not, we'll be happy to work with him off the bench. A very good player to bring on to control possession if you're 1 or 2 up with 20 to go. Definitely no problem with him being in the squad. Let's move on to Faustino Angerin. 3-star ability, 3-star potential. 29 years of age, central midfield or attacking midfield. Just one of those good versatile squad players. Physically again exceptional. If we get injuries, he can play 2 or 3 games a week. Mentally solid. Technically not world class, but pretty decent. And nearly 50 caps for England. He's got plenty of quality. Has he come through their academy? He did, he started there. Went off to Blackpool, went to Turkey and is now back with Chelsea. A very good squad player to have. And I bet they pay loads of money as well. Sold him for 200 grand, bought him for 22.5 million. Great business there. And then we get to a name that we all know, Jude Bellingham. He is a man who is slightly concerned because he wants to play in the Champions League. But at 27, he's 3.5-star ability, probably our best central midfielder on paper. Also good in the number 10 role. And again, a very experienced England international, played loads of games at all different levels. And he's just very good across the board, got no real standout attributes. The one thing that does strike me is it's a very professional squad. So that's something that should suit us well next season. Hopefully will help us adapt to the new tactic. Hopefully will help the players adapt to the way we want to play. And any new signings the director of football makes. But he's a very good player as well, so another good sign. Into attacking midfield, there's 2 more players here. First is Juan Pablo Yepez, 3-star ability, 3-star potential. 27-year-old Colombian. Again, very good but not great. So he's going to be a good player, a good squad player, which is what he's contracted to be. He's going to be involved in certain games. He's not wanted by anyone, so I'd imagine he'll be here. Played in England for Bournemouth before, so he's got experience, and I'm sure he'll contribute to us in the future. Maximiano Diaz is the other one. 2.5 ability, 3.5 potential. 21-year-old Argentinian. He's not going to make it, is he? Let's be honest. He's wanted on loan by a few clubs, and I'll be more than happy to see him go there, because that is not a top Premier League player. Not yet, anyway. On to the left-hand side, before we try to work out how to get 2 very world-class strikers in the team. On the left, we've got the experienced Marcus Rashford, at 33 years of age, played 500 league games for United with 191 goals, has now come to Chelsea this summer. What a weird signing that is. How much did they pay? 9.5 million. Not bad for a squad member. Again, mentally very good. Still quite strong physically and technically not bad. 172 caps for England, 77 goals. I mean, what a player he's become. He must have won a few things at United, but he's going to be more of a squad player here. And then the best winger at the club is 4-star Ansu Fati, the much talked about man from Barcelona at the moment. 110 caps for Spain, scoring 1 in 2 on 300 grand a week. I think the highest we've seen so far. Again, physically exceptional. Again, mentally exceptional. But this time, he's got all 3. He can play up front, but he's best on the left wing. And my word, he's going to be first choice there. Barcelona are now 250 games for Chelsea. I feel treated with this squad. Surely there can't be 4 better in the Premier League. And finally, let's move on to the strikers. So there's 3 we've got to focus on that are at the club. And first is the best. Zdeněk Gross. 4.5-star ability, 4.5 potential. 25 years of age, the best star rated player at the club. Better than Fati that we just looked at. Better than Mendes. Better than Al Jahani. He is the best player. Let's have a look at him. He is... Well, I was expecting a bit better. Scored nearly 1 in the game for the Czech Republic, over 80 caps. 325 grand a week, new record wage for the club. He's not the best finisher, which is the bit that gets me. I mean, his goal ratio is incredible. But still, I was probably expecting a bit more than that. I'm a little bit puzzled. Maybe I'll play him off the wide area. Maybe a good number 10, but I'm not so sure he's my star striker. And again, he's another one that wants to play in the Champions League. So could he be the man that funds the new squad? The director of football will decide that, but we'll wait and see. I'm not convinced he's going to be here next year. And the other striker that start is the youngest player that looks good. And a 21-year-old Will Mealer, 4-star ability, 5-star potential, must be homegrown at the club. He is. He's played 16 league games and scored 7 goals. I'm surprised he's not played more. 4-star ability, physically world class again, mentally good, not exceptional, maybe not the best personality, but a very good finisher, great touch, great dribbling ability, and good technique too. I wouldn't have a problem with him being first choice, but I guess with his lack of experience, does he maybe need one more year? Not played for the England seniors yet either, but a very good player nonetheless. And if he's our backup striker, I'm a very happy man because he's better than any of the ones we had at Gladbach. And then last but not least is the third choice striker, Robson Ramos, 24-year-old striker with 3-star ability. A versatile Brazilian who again, very good physically. We've got a very quick side. We should be able to play high up the pitch. Good on the ball. Again, possibly suits being a number 10 better. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I think he looks like a number 10. Again, not the greatest finisher. And the problem for me looking at this squad is definitely balance. Firstly, balance in terms of squad depth. There are some areas where we've got loads of great players, some where we've got none or one. And there are some positions where we've got too many older players, like left back, all over 32. The same at right back too, actually. We're really struggling in full-back areas. And there's so many players who are wanted, who are unhappy due to the lack of Champions League football. I feel like there's going to be more of an overhaul than we expect. So bar Rashford, were there any others that were signed this summer? Let's go and have a quick look. No, Dele Alli has left the club at 35. Good to get money for him because he's not got the physical ability anymore. And to be fair, they got 6 million for him. In terms of pre-agreed deals, are any of those coming in? We've got one player coming in, Jeremy Labiri. I've probably pronounced that wrong. 3.2 million rising to 9. A 17-year-old left winger who looks very good. And for Europa League football, perhaps a bit of a star. So I've got to say, I'm very excited by that squad. I'd love to know your thoughts down in the comments, first of the move to Chelsea, and of course of the squad we've been handed. How many of those unhappy players are still going to be here for our first game of the season, which is, let me confirm it for you, going to be the start of August, the 9th against Bournemouth. How many do you think will be here? How many new signings will we have? Will some of the older players move on? There's a lot of unanswered questions. We've got to try and get a director of football, of course. We'll settle the responsibilities off camera. And if not, it looks like Petr Cech's in charge. But if you did enjoy this episode and the big move back to England, please do put a thumbs up on the video. It really does make such a difference. I hope you're here on Thursday because we've got our first game with Chelsea. We'll be playing that Premier League game against Bournemouth and we'll also have a big reaction to the transfer window. Who's going to be gone? Who's going to be moving in? And are we going to have any more world-class players? I'm really looking forward to this. Might be the club that we can achieve everything at and finish our career. But let's hope it doesn't all go wrong at the start. If you haven't already, please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. You'll get alerts as daily FM20 content releases on the channel, including episodes every other day from this series. We're back with Dorking tomorrow as we continue our brand new season in that one, trying to push for Europe for the very first time after bitter disappointment last season. The Stadium Review series continues on Sunday. Our Cricket 19 career will be back tomorrow as well. And please do check out the podcast channel in the eye above as well. We've got interviews with loads of current and former professional footballers and personalities from within the game, weekly championship predictions, topical podcasts, matchday vlogs and much, much more. Thank you for your support with both channels. It really has been appreciated. I hope you continue to enjoy the content. And I hope to see you next time here at Chelsea as we play our first game back in England.